John Brown and Nick Durst, live on the UCY.TV network.
Well, I guess that's the music for tonight, a little earlier, but welcome back to Spam, Sports, Politics, and More. I'm your host, John Brown, and I'm joined, like always, my co-host, Nick. Nick, how are you?
Oh, I'm feeling great. What a day to be alive. What a day to be an American. We're living in a golden era of American society right now. For the first time ever, we have a president who came out of nowhere with no political background, no military background, and the people of the United States of America, the greatest country in the world, rallied together and they said, enough with this corruption. We are taking over America. We put the right guy in the White House. John, you and I have been in the Trump train since he announced he was going to run for president. Now we're at the last stop, the White House. He's meeting with Obama tomorrow, which is going to be nuts. We're going to be getting into all of the election coverage. We're going to be talking about Hillary's concession speech and what have you. And, of course, at the end of the show, stay tuned for our usual NFL picks and recap. But, as always, we like to start the show by saying, we want you to get involved tonight. Give us a call. We want to hear what you have to say about everything with the election. 1-718-717-8296 is the number to call. Right here on the UCY.TV network. You're listening to Sports, Politics, and More. I'm Nick Durst. He's John Brown. You can also follow us on Twitter. I'm at Nick_Durst. John is back on Twitter after being blocked and shut down by Hillary last week at S_Sports. And, of course, the best way to reach us if you don't want to call or tweet us is in the UCY lobby chat. And we'll be taking your comments and questions all throughout the night. So, John, how excited were you last night, and did you stay up throughout the whole night? You actually predicted a landslide victory, and the electoral came down to it, and Trump won big time.
Yeah, so I actually stayed up to 4:30 in the morning last night, and then I ended up pulling out of work today for a multitude of reasons, but mostly because I was afraid if they didn't call it last night that the steal would be in. They would try to, steal it from out from under him. But, I got to admit, I'm ecstatic right now. The one problem is that, I might have to go on high blood pressure medicine because all of this delicious, salty tears of all these crybabies who are all bitching and moaning now that they lost. They were so confident. They thought they were so smart. And only uncollege educated white males are voting for Trump. In reality, he did better with Hispanics and African Americans than Mitt Romney. And he did better than any Republican has with Catholic voters. He won them by 17%. He was a real upset. He took the entire Rust Belt by storm. The look and the feel on their faces when they realized that Hillary Clinton was finally going down was delicious. And last night wasn't a victory for the Republican Party. It's a victory for an outsider because in reality, the whole Washington establishment was against Trump. The right, the left, everybody, the media, like last night, ABC refused to call Wisconsin for Trump and Georgia for Trump after hours. After hours, Georgia, Trump was winning by like 60 points, and they still didn't call for him. Like just denial, thinking that maybe if they don't, something will change. The whole thing last night was absolutely ridiculous. Hillary not going and conceding last night in front of people. She sends out John Bethesda to tell people to go home. Like, are you kidding me? I know. I was watching the news. You polled Trump like 20 minutes later to congratulate him or whatever. So I know that you didn't go to bed. I know that you
how great was that scene at the Javits Center? I wish I was there.
Oh my God! When the Fox 5 cut over to them, you could hear like a pin drop. Everyone just, oh no. It's just, and then you hear Paul Ryan talking today. Talking about Trump. It's so good to see. It's so great. I'm so happy for it. And Trump has already destroyed the GOP. He burnt it down from the inside out. He's destroyed the DNC now because it's blatantly obvious with all these WikiLeaks that they stole the nomination from Hillary, and the Democrats didn't even run their strongest candidate, who would have been Bernie Sanders. So they ran the person that they wanted to, the real inside hookup, and it blew up in their face. They overestimated their turnout and their reaction. And, anyone who's been listening to me, I've been saying, these polls are wrong because they're looking at Democratic turnout the way it was in 2012. Listen, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is not Barack Obama. She is not popular. She doesn't, there's no change or hope. What is her campaign even about? Stronger together. I'm with her. None of that stuff means anything.
The polls were rigged because the ABC network, aka always broadcasting Clinton, the NBC network, the National Broadcasting Clinton, and CNN, Clinton News Network, they just were constantly trying to paint it as a picture with these polls to show that, wow, Hillary's so far ahead. Why should I go vote for Trump? Well, guess what? It backfired. You didn't even poll any Republicans or independents. And these polls were so off. It might not sound like a big number, but Trump was polling at less than 9% with Latinos. He ended up getting 33% of the vote with Latinos. And they were saying Hillary's 100% almost with the woman. He got 90% of the vote for Republican registered women. And obviously he cleaned house with the independents.
Yeah, and that's another thing that the establishment media, left and right, everywhere from Shepard Smith to Blitzer on CNN, all these talking head idiots, they love to play this identity politics, which means if you're Hispanic, you do this. If you're black, you do this. If you're white, you do this. If you're gay, you do this. That's not reality. That you're painting with a broad brush, and it's so ridiculous. Even the word Latinos, they throw that around. Well, the Latino vote, blah, 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 blah. You're such a condescending jerk-off that you think that everyone of Hispanic heritage is all the same, when in reality, they're all very diverse and very different. For example, people from Cuba, the Cuban Americans, are extremely conservative, and they all are extremely religious as well, and they all vote Republican. But because they're Hispanic, they just push them in the same bucket and assume that they're going to come out and vote for Hillary. As soon as Florida got called, I was nervous before then because I was very nervous about voter fraud, and Hillary Clinton will do anything for power, so I wouldn't put anything past her. But as soon as Florida fell, that's when I was like, all right, we have this one in the bag.
And you mentioned coming up, ladies and gentlemen, in 1 minute, the 10 of 10 with John Brown, giving us the top 10 reasons why America is going to be great again. But let's really touch quick. You mentioned Wolf Blitzer. I didn't watch a second of CNN because I knew they were going to be terrible. But on ABC, you got George Stephanopoulos looking like he saw a ghost. Lester Holt literally sweating and dabbing himself. That was so unprofessional of them. You got Gayle King on CBS. Why? Because she's Oprah's friend. She should be on there. And, I love him. You love him. Thanks for the Super Bowl. Michael Strahan, why are you covering the election on ABC? It was crazy.
Oh, excellent news. Andrew is calling, so he will be able to do the 10 of 10. Phenomenal. Hold on 1 second, Andrew. Let's try to get you on the call so you can do your 10 of 10.
Yeah, so we got some comments in here from the room, of course. And we will start with the biggest commenter we have, Otto, and he puts a map in the room and says, the red state stood up, but it's true. And then we have a 98055 that says "F you, CNN." Very well said. And then they're talking about the riots, the protests that are going on right now. These clueless people. And another thing that was pretty funny is, Hillary had a big lead early in the day yesterday, and then around 5:00 local time, everywhere the lead went down because people actually got home from work and had a job and went to vote. They weren't able to vote in the morning.
Hey guys, I'm here.
Andrew,
tell us.
First of all, let's continue the conversation of voting about what you guys just said. Believe it or not, yesterday was my 21st birthday, and me and John had lunch, of course, celebrated, obviously. So I wasn't able to vote in the morning. So I had to wait till I got home to vote, which was about around before 4 o'clock. So my polling station wasn't bad here in Fresh Meadows. It was certainly interesting, but say the least, hell, you're filling the bubble, and that's what happened.
So Andrew, how was your voting experience? Was there any long lines?
Yeah, there really wasn't long lines. My district here in Fresh Meadows really isn't that populated. I mean, it's basically, people who live in, households, and, they vote when they can vote, obviously. And I really didn't have a problem yesterday at my polling place. I really didn't.
All right.
The poll workers there were tremendous. I want to give them very good credit. And it was a very good experience, yes.
And did you stay up the whole night to watch the election? If not, how did you find out the news this morning that Donald Trump is the next president of the United States of America?
So, you were talking about Clinton News Network earlier, which I was watching Clinton News Network.
What's wrong with you? I guess you like Wolf Blitzer. Every time Hillary won something, he'd be like, we need 4 electoral votes for Hillary. Woo!
Well, I can't really comment on Wolf Blitzer as a journalist, but I felt that I could not watch any of the over-the-air channels. ABC was doing too much political commentary. NBC. And CBS was doing the same thing too. I could not take it. So I just said to myself, I'm better off just watching CNN, seeing how they're projecting Hillary to win these.
Fox Business, like me and John.
How was Fox Business coverage last night?
It was great. What do you think,
really?
John?
Oh man, I watched Fox Business. All right, so anyway, around before 1 o'clock last night, they were saying, "Oh well, Trump might pull out Wisconsin," and I'm like, if he's going to win Wisconsin, I might as well just go to sleep because he's getting close. So at 6 o'clock, keep in mind, my mom has a job, of course, and she has to get up early, and I never wake up till 8 o'clock. But this was a very weird morning because I heard my parents downstairs in the lobby where, the entrance to our house is. So I overheard them because my bedroom is, above that. And they were talking about, the election. And I was like, Trump win? So I have my radio here. I put 10-10 wins on, and I'm like, holy crap. He actually did it. He actually won. And I'm thinking, wow, I could take 2 more hours, a quick nap, and then see what social media is saying about it. So I take a 2-hour nap. I wake up at 8 o'clock, and wow, let me tell you, I have a lot of friends who are liberal, and they were annoyed. Very annoyed about the results.
Oh, man. Yeah. And Ray and John didn't get into that with what we had to deal with at work today. But, Andrew, without further ado, it's time for the 10 at 10. And tonight...
Oh, yes, my favorite segment.
You will be giving, our field reporter, Andrew, will be... And happy birthday to the phenomenal one, AJP. Andrew was his 21st birthday yesterday. And he got to make America great again. But... without further ado, the 10 at 10, the top 10 reasons as to why America is going to be great again under President Donald Trump.
All right, so number one, I think the main reason is going to have to be the economy overall. I feel that Trump is going to fix the problems that we've had the past 20-something years with these outrageous trade deals. Under the first 100 days, I expect him to basically put the NAFTA into the shredder, which I'm hoping he does, literally. And, I want to see the tax code changed. I think it can happen. And also, I feel that we need to cut spending. Plain simple. We have to get rid of our $19 trillion debt. It is getting way out of hand.
All right, and the next reason?
The next reason, obviously, is going to be Obamacare. Hopefully, before the first 100 days are up, I hope that he reappeals Obamacare, and hopefully premiums will go down because of this. So I'm going to feel bad at the end of the day for the 20 million that don't have the insurance, but we're better off having premiums going down. So number two, obviously, Obamacare will be gone.
Well, how about this? We got our loyal listeners in the chat room here, giving us their top 10 reasons why. And
I'm looking right now. What are they?
I'm reading this to you. Here we go. Number one, no Hillary. Number two, no Hillary. Number three, no Hillary. Number four, no Hillary. Number five, no Chelsea.
No
Hillary.
Otto's talking about that. Yeah.
No Huma. Bill's got to be in here somewhere. But that's the 7 reasons we have so far. Keep them coming, guys. Andrew, number 3. Keep on going.
All right, so number 3. Hopefully, I am praying that Trump will keep his promise during the second debate that he will get the special prosecutor into her case, along with the attorney general, him or herself, involved with this controversial and more ridiculous email scandal. So I'm hoping Hillary is in prison next year.
Well, Chris Christie already said, if he's attorney general, which he probably will be, he's going to do that. Andrew, why don't you, as a favor, read for us Otto von Bolschwig's last comment in the chat about Bill Clinton?
Oh my goodness. He got HIV. I don't even want to read this. It's so messed up.
John, do you see that?
Otto, you are crazy, but I love you for posting that.
I'm actually clicking into it right now. Let me see.
You have to see it, John. It's hilarious.
I don't know if we can read that on the air.
Why? Let's see, Otto. Bill got HIV from Dick and Bimbos in Haiti.
Yes, that's the one.
Let's remember, we got that Hillary got a lot of money from Haiti with their hurricane.
No, the 2010 earthquake. Remember that?
Oh, the earthquake. That's what I meant. Natural disaster. And, text the Red Cross to help Hillary Clinton. Pay Jay-Z and Beyonce $62 million to do a stupid concert, which didn't help. I wonder if she likes that money she gave them now because she didn't get the African-American vote. And a quick aside that me and John are going to take right now. How about dumbass J.R. Smith combination right there for Schmidt?
Oh, no, not him.
He comes out and endorses Hillary. I mean, I can guarantee you the guy is not registered to vote. What do you think, John?
Absolutely not. He's just a stooge. And the same thing with LeBron. And what Hillary doesn't get and what her campaign doesn't understand is the fact that kind of shit doesn't work. The number one problem with Hillary Clinton is the fact that she's unlikable. She doesn't seem normal. She's not personable. She doesn't seem real. She doesn't have emotion. She hasn't driven a car in 40 years. All of these things. What makes you think NBA stars or singing stars, oh, I like LeBron. LeBron likes Hillary. I'll vote for Hillary. That's ridiculous. And it's condescending and it's insulting to every single African American in this country. The idea that, oh, I'll go out and get the NBA guys and then that'll get the blacks to vote. You're such a condescending jerk. Ugh.
All right, yeah, J.R. Smith, absolute moron, and he sucks at basketball, and he set the Knicks back. Andrew, number 5.
Well, I'm going to bring Israel into the equation here for a sec because not that many people are talking about this, considering that, I'm Jewish, of course. And today I saw the video on Facebook of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, congratulating Trump on his victory last night. And I feel that our relationship will heal under President Trump because President Obama, over the past 8 years, has actually hurt our relationship with Israel. I do not need to get into it, but John will probably understand where I'm going into at this point.
Absolutely, Andrew. Couldn't agree more. We're going to actually have a great meeting with them at some point. That also, the same thing, like people are mad that Putin congratulated Trump. What do you want to say? F you, I'm going to bomb you. Like, how stupid can you be? You obviously want Russia to be an ally. We have a great comment here in the chat from with her 2016. Maybe this is the lady I saw in the subway today wearing a huge pin that said #Hell yeah. She writes, "You guys are disgusting. Trump is a racist." Well, this is what I like to tell you. The number to call in the show is 718-717-8296. If you're not up to that, you're scared, obviously, you can give us a tweet at S_sports, at Nick_Durst, or just continue to write in the UCY lobby chat. I would love to know why you think that Donald Trump is a racist, and why you think he hates all these different people. I don't understand where you're getting that from. Andrew,
Nick, I'm reading this person in the chat right now. They're probably just a troll. They don't even make any sense. Trump hates gays, Trump hates blacks, Trump hates Mexicans, Jews. How could you vote for him? In reality, as far as GOP candidates go, he's the most pro-gay rights person to ever run on a Republican ticket, ever. Like, this is what's such a great thing about Trump and why it's so surprising that he won. Because everyone on the right goes, "You're not really conservative," rah! And everyone on the left goes, "You're too conservative, you're too crazy," rah! And in reality, socially, he's extremely liberal. He was a Democrat at one point in his life. And, when it comes to financial, he's extremely conservative. And that's exactly what our country wants and needs. And if you look at the vast majority of Americans, they care less about gay rights. Get married, be gay, who gives a shit? They could care less about abortion. They care less about all these social wedge issue bullshit. Who uses whose bathroom? In the reality of it, does not move the needle for most Americans. The vast majority of Americans want you to, A, fix the economy, and B, stop getting involved in foreign wars. No more proxy wars where we arm rebels. 5 years later, we go back and fight the same fucking rebels. Like, that's the real problem that the both establishments in the Washington Mafia do not understand.
Absolutely. And, if you're a troll, sorry to hear that. If you actually are serious, sorry to hear that. Andrew, we know you're up against the clock here. Try to finish up that list if you can.
All right, so now the reason I'm going to get into is oh man, my train of thought. Thanks a lot, troll.
All right. Well, why are you trying to
manufacturing? That's why it just popped in my head. Manufacturing growth in this country, we have not seen a huge manufacturing growth since Ronald Reagan. Okay, we all have to admit that, and Trump talks about it all the time. Well, what we talk about, these trade deals have hurt manufacturing growth in the last 20, 30-something years. Well, it has. And I feel that once we rip off NAFTA and put it in the shredder, once the TPP gets vetoed, I feel that we are going to see real Americans who have not been in manufacturing for years and years and years either start up new businesses or actually look for jobs in the manufacturing industry because of Donald Trump.
Let me jump in on that, Andrew. So I think the two things that are going to, never mind, like people, robots stole those jobs, not China. This is the real crux of the issue. There's two things that Donald Trump's going to do that's going to affect our economy and create jobs. He's going to give us the lowest corporate tax rate in the modern world.
Remember that because Larry Kudlow might be his Treasury Secretary, so that's a possibility. It likely will happen.
And then he's also going to protect our intellectual property overseas. And what I mean by that is, so I invent something like, I don't know, like the tap charger, the charger where you don't have to plug it in, and I get it made in China, and it does really well. I cornered the market, blah, blah, blah. I have a patent. But China doesn't honor those patents. They make cheap ripoffs that they sell for pennies on the dollar and essentially make it so much harder for you to compete. So that's one of the reasons that China has stolen our jobs and our wealth, is because they don't respect our intellectual property, and because the people that are in charge of making these trade deals are political hacks who are getting paid under the table, or campaign contributions, or whatever it is. They don't care. They're not doing anything about it, and it's hurting our economy on every level.
Yep. All right. Andrew, any comments on that, or if not, continue the list.
I have to continue the list because the trolls might be coming back. That's why. All right. So let me think of something else here. I am going to go with the Keystone Oil Pipeline. I feel that once we get the Keystone Pipeline built, and this is a big factor here, I feel that America will be energy independent. It's a sad reality that we have to rely on fossil fuels. But at the end of the day, we have to realize the bigger picture, and that is being energy independent. If we're not energy independent, we're basically going to keep begging Saudi Arabia for their oil, and that is not good for our economy.
I agree. Energy independence is huge. I would like us to move more in a clean energy route, because I think getting away from fossil fuels is important, but there's no reason that we should tank our economy for it either. If we can do fracking and we can do it safe, let's frack it up while we still work on technology like Tesla to get away from it. But on the same note, we're giving money to countries like Saudi Arabia who are actually funding ISIS. So we're indirectly and sometimes directly by accident funding the same terrorists that we're going over there and fighting and dying for. It's one gigantic cluster of just, the military industrial complex that has been going on for years, and we need to get away from it. And I think the one thing that Donald Trump has over everyone that's ran for president since Ronald Reagan is the fact that he's not beholden to any of these people. He doesn't owe them favors. He doesn't have a foundation. People aren't giving him $1 million birthday gifts. There's none of that. So he's not going to make these deals for any other reason than it's a good deal and it's in our best interest.
Absolutely. And, it's all about the Americans' best interest now. And this is what I really want to say. I mean, there's two reasons to me that are really important. Number one, like you mentioned before, taxes are going down, more money in our bank accounts. But here's the thing that is really key here. Not only did the Republicans win president, they won Senate and they won Congress, and now that means we're going to have a Supreme Court that's mostly Republican. So when's the last time, and John, you'll probably know best, that one party controlled all the branches of Congress? And it just was. When's the last time something happened like that? Because that's why nothing ever gets done, because everyone's on different pages. Different pages.
And 1920 was the last time.
Wow. So I think I really think that things are going to happen here.
Wait, excuse me. That was the last time that the Republicans had it.
And remember this, everyone. Trump will support worker unions. Trump is looking out for you, okay? I remember last night on CNN, they were talking about, unions always say you have to vote Democrat. Well, look how Reagan got elected the first time, because they were worker unions that were against the Democratic Party. This is the same equivalency in 2016. They were in Michigan, just as an example. I just saw the recent map that just came out. Trump won Michigan, believe it or not. And that's one reason, because they went against their party lines and they want to bring back the automobile industry in Detroit and the whole state of Michigan itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Andrew. All right, Andrew. We know you got to go. Thanks for calling in, as always. And that's been 10 at 10 with the phenomenal one.
And before I go, I will be listening to the NFL picks like I normally do.
Stay tuned for that. I'll give you a little spoiler right now, Andrew. John is picking the Giants to win this Monday.
All right, good. We got to keep winning to get that wild card, man. I don't think we're going to catch Dallas, but I think we're going to get a wild card at least if we win 10 games. Believe me.
We will see. We will see. All right. Thank you very much. And
all right, guys. Good night.
Have a good night. There you had it. The very enthusiastic first-time voter, Andrew. But, John, I really want to get more into, do you think things are going to be able to get done now that the Republicans are controlling the government? And what does this mean for Speaker of the House Ryan at this point?
Well, Ryan's out. There's one of the things that Newt Gingrich and Sean Hannity were talking about earlier today is that standard, the banners of the Republican Party have completely changed. Any of these people who haven't bent the knee and who have tried to actually go after him, you got to realize Ryan and Mitt Romney were directly connected with that Access Hollywood video that came out. So, they actively tried to sabotage his campaign. He's out completely. He'd probably be a congressman still because, the locals in Wisconsin would have to vote him out, but he's not going to be the Speaker of the House anymore, and his role in the Republican Party is going to take a big dip. The rumbling on the internet is that Trent Gowdy, the congressman from South Carolina, is going to be Trump's pick for Speaker of the House. And he's a really great guy. He's actually the head of the Benghazi Oversight Committee. He's a really good, hardcore conservative. He's actually a little bit more conservative than I like, but he seems to be, an honorable and pretty legit guy who's going to uphold the law, which is what you want. Let me just jump in real quick. Breaking news, there's anti-Trump protesters in Union Square in the city right now. I'm going to post a link for it in the chat. It's insane. There's like hundreds of them.
What a shame. I mean, these people are clueless in Manhattan. We're gonna get into our work days really quickly, but just want to touch real quick on what is Trump's cabinet going to look like. I think it's pretty much a lock for General Attorney is going to be Christie, General Surgeon Carson, Director of Homeland Security Rudy Giuliani. Am I right? Who am I missing here?
Homeland Security is going to be Giuliani. Secretary of Defense is going to be General Mills. Secretary of State is going to be Jeff Sessions. Attorney General, that's the one thing that's, I thought that was going to be Chris Christie, but I don't know if he's going to have to try to avoid him because of this whole Bridgegate thing. I think the Bridgegate thing is nonsense anyway, but, you never know.
And you think Ben Carson, Surgeon General?
Oh, absolutely. They've already started talking about that. If you go to Trump's website, you can actually read Ben Carson has written up his plan on replacing Obamacare with a non-mandatory state-run, sort of just like expanding on Medicare, but making it a lot more feasible and, including incentives for people that get their health insurance from, the regular market. All
right. And you obviously set up, you watched Trump's speech. I watched it today. Very, very nice, but he was calling everybody out. He was like, thanks for the service. Thanks for Christie, Giuliani, Ben Carson. Everyone got a nice round of applause. Did you watch Hillary's concession speech this afternoon where everyone was dressed in black and purple to mourn their loss?
Of course I was. And one of the things that I found really, really surprising about that is she didn't even give it to her fans. So, last night at Lincoln Center, she has all these people that have been there for hours. They're waiting for her to come out. They're obviously visibly upset. She doesn't even have the decency to go out and concede in front of them. She waits till today at 11 o'clock, and she does it.
She had thousands of idiots at the Javits Center last night, and I think that she cancels her fireworks show, and then she doesn't have the nerve to show up to give the people what they wanted. That's what they were there for. Her.
Yeah, it's a real disgrace. And then when she does give the concession speech, it's not at like a rally type setting with all of her supporters. It's at like a news conference setting with her high donors and the media. And because she lives in this, make-believe bubble of what reality is, and it's just all these bigwigs and media guys, this is why she lost. She doesn't have, an even inkling of what the middle class is going on with right now, because she's a multi-billionaire who's gotten filthy rich by just essentially selling access to the State Department. If you read the book Clinton Cash or you watch the documentary, it's about an hour long, there is countless examples of it. And if you read her emails via WikiLeaks and John Bethesda's emails and the DNC emails, you can see that they left the White House and they were quote unquote dead broke. They're worth $150 million now. And
I just wish I could have seen the shock on her face and Huma's face and Bill's face last night, because they thought that by 10 p.m. they have it wrapped up. I mean, could you imagine what was going on in that, wherever the hell they were sitting and watching this stuff?
I would have loved to be a fly on the wall. Actually, that's one of the things I noticed today. After the speech was over, she was, going and giving hugs and kisses to Tim Kaine and everybody. She walked right by Uma. So I guess the whole Anthony Weiner thing, she blames on Uma. And the Clintons have a really bad history of people that, upset them end up dying mysteriously. So I would keep an eye on that to see on the health of.
Look forward to Huma's tell-all book in the next 5 years, because it's going to be a whopper. And let's get into it here. Our work day. So John and I, obviously we both support Trump. We're from, the Trump native land of Staten Island, where Trump probably got 95% of the vote. Trump country, baby. Yesterday at work was brutal because I had all these dopes from all these different parts of the country who work in Manhattan, totally clueless about politics, yapping away about how great Hillary is all day. Rough day at work to keep my mouth shut. Today, I still kept my mouth shut, but it was so funny, and I was laughing and smiling at how upset and devastated these people were, and how shocked they were that most of Americans were fed up with this nonsense. They're in such a little bubble in Manhattan that they are just shocked that this happened. They can't even process it, and they're physically in pain and emotionally scarred for life. That's what I saw at my office today. How about you, John, at your office?
Oh, it was an absolute. It was like a funeral. It was like somebody died. And they were just in complete disbelief. My boss, he lives in a townhouse in the Lower East Side. He makes probably somewhere in the $200,000 range. And he doesn't understand why anyone would not vote for Hillary. Like, well, guess what, buddy? You don't live the typical life. You make $200,000 a year. You live in the city, so you go from the Midtown West to the Lower East Side. You don't see anything else other than those 14 blocks or 15 blocks of Manhattan. That is all you see. That's your microcosm. And I always say this, and I'm going to get crazy. I go over it over and over again. But the biggest problem that we have as a society right now is ecocentralism. And the idea that means that we think everyone is just like us. And we think that everyone out there has the same values and the same morals and the same ideas, the same principles, the same wants and needs. So obviously they're so outraged. And, one of the things about the safe space society that we've become is this ridiculousness about that idea that, oh, how could anyone vote for Donald Trump? He said all these mean things. And then you say policy things, and they can't even tell you what Hillary's plan for the economy was. Oh, more Trump, more Obama. Obama's economy has been terrible. He's doubled the national debt. We've had the slowest GDP growth. China's GDP growth this year was 7%, and it was like terrible news for them. Our GDP growth was 1.5%. It's the lowest it's ever been. And that's insane. We have been out of a recession for years. The banking bubble has already been fixed. They've even paid back the money at this point. There's no reason for our GDP to be just devastated the way it is, other than the fact that we're overtaxed, we're overregulated, and the high corporate tax and the high salaries and payroll tax, all these other that we use to our companies, we drive them overseas. One of the biggest examples of that is Pfizer. Pfizer is this gigantic conglomerate. They make all these prescription meds. They uprooted their entire business and then put it in Ireland so they can get cheaper taxes. So, we do is we punish people for success. And when Hillary Clinton says stupid shit like we need an economy that's more fair, what about capitalism is fair? So if you want to have a fair capitalist market, let's talk about say soda. Should Coca-Cola give some of their earnings to RC Cola so it's a more fair market? Or should RC Cola go away because it's not as good? Capitalism has nothing to do with being fair. The idea of fair economics is just silly. The two things have nothing to do with each other.
Absolutely, and like more on these types of things to come in the coming weeks as we roll into January and we have our new president. But John, do you think tomorrow, when Donald Trump's at the White House for the first time with Barack Obama, and they have their discussion, you think they're actually going to meet with the media afterwards?
I don't know, but I tell you, Obama definitely had to eat some humble pie. I actually posted this on Reddit today. Is it in the Correspondents' Dinner in 2011? Obama made that funny video with the Lion King. Remember that?
Yes.
This is a sort of like people are like, oh, Trump's not going to get a special prosecutor to convict Hillary now. He's already won. What does he care? Trump is very much like the elephant. He never forgets. No. He essentially ran for president because of that. Because Obama roasted him in public, and now he's like, oh, good. I'm going to be president in your fucking face.
We got some dumb comments in the chat. I'm with her saying, what is this guy talking about, referring to you, that he said he didn't go to work today, and then he said work's like a funeral, and Anon 3940 follows up by saying these radio guys can't even get their story together. I don't think you ever said you called out of work sick today.
I did call out of work, but I also had a conference call where I talked to everybody. So let's not get crazy about keeping my story straight. I can still speak to people without being there to tell you how their mood was and how sad they were.
All right, and I'm with her. I don't know who this lady is or who he is. He's claiming that Donald Trump, there's videos that Donald Trump has raped, videos of Donald Trump raping women. That's totally false, because if there was, obviously Hillary would have put that out for sure. I don't know where, and then people are asking I'm with her, 2016, where can you find the videos? And she's not answering because that's not true. I mean, to sum up your comments in one word, I'll quote Donald Trump from one of the presidential debates. Wrong.
Yeah, like, that's the idea. Well, there's video of this, there's video of that, blah, 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 blah. Listen, the New York Times pulled 100 reporters to pull the big dirt. The guy who owns Penthouse was offering $1 million for any type of anything that was bad on Trump. The only thing they could find was a hot mic from audio from 11 years ago where he said the word pussy. That was it. That was their number one go-to. If there was a video of him doing anything like that, they pulled out all the stops. All the stops.
And they lost. And I really want to get into this now. How about these celebrities who said that Donald Trump, if he won, I'm leaving the country? Well, I'm going to post this in the chat now for our loyal listeners to see. I decided that I would send these celebrities their actual quotes and tell them to leave the country. So, I'm not going to read them all, but I'll just read a few. Let's start off with the Rev Al Sharpton, the guy who owes millions in taxes, the biggest fraud, the biggest racist in the country. He said, I'm reserving my ticket to get out of here, so if he wins, only because he probably had me deported anyhow. Well, he should be deported, but I tweeted him that with the quotes that I wrote Rev Al, and see ya, leave. Amy Schumer, who said, I will probably need to learn to speak Spanish because I will have to move to Spain and do my act there. It's beyond my comprehension if Trump won. Well, Amy, you said that. Trump won. See ya. Leave. Lena Dunham, I don't know who the hell this lady thinks she is, says, I love Canada. There's an area of Vancouver that I find beautiful and appealing, and I can conduct business from there. Well, everyone's just saying, let me go to Canada. It's not like so easy to just go immigrate into Canada. They don't have open borders like we had right now, the Obama administration. Lena Dunham, see ya. Leave. This whack job, Chelsea Handler, she said all these people that threaten to leave the country and then don't, I actually will leave the country. Well, what are you waiting for, Chelsea? See ya. Leave. And finally, Miley Cyrus, who said, gonna bomb / move out the country. Miley, you said it. It's action time. See ya. Leave.
Yeah, they're all just like such talking heads nonsense. Like, Miley Cyrus was like, what Trump said, it was disturbing. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, you have when you're on stage, you wear a dildo and you run around and fucking flash your tits. Like, it's just nonsense. It's just bullshit. They literally say these things. I honestly believe they just say these things because now we're talking about it. And there's no such thing as bad press. None of them are going to go anywhere. I always bring this up. Hey, why are you guys being racist? Why will you go to Canada? Why don't you move to Mexico? Obviously, you think it's fine down there and we shouldn't build a wall, and that's just racists who think that. So move your ass to Mexico. Why don't you do that? Lena Dunham is a real piece of work. In her book, she talks about how she molested her sister as a kid, which is fucked up and disturbing. I don't know why she's writing about it in her book like it's something to be proud of. She's really a disgrace. If she were to go somewhere, that'd be phenomenal. I wish she would just get out of here.
Wow. That's really disturbing. The American people should rally together, start protests and riots to get these people out of America. Hold them to their promises. If not, they need to issue retractions on video or on Twitter. Bunch of morons. Don't speak if you're not going to take action. If you're going to talk the talk, walk the frickin' walk. Stupid people saying stupid things.
It's a real disgrace, but yesterday's results gives me a lot of hope for this country. I think that the silent majority has very much spoken. And this identity politics bullshit where if you're X, then you must believe Y, it's just going to go away. And thank God, because the PC police have gotten completely out of control. They're so freaking ridiculous that we finally need someone to, shake this out, because we've gone so far left that it's so ridiculous. You got people losing their jobs for bullshit, for nonsense, for words. And in reality, there's a lot worse things going on out there. And until that happens, we let people deal with some shit and they get some, life skills. We have a whole generation of millennials who have no life skills. They can't deal with adversity whatsoever. We got professors at Yale canceling midterms because students are upset over an election. Like, where do you draw the line? Like, you're upset over an election, so you can't go take a test. How are you supposed to get a job and work in a workplace? What if something upsetting happens to you? Is that it? You get to quit? You get to call out? It's just ridiculous. The whole system, and it's slowly crumbling because they're eating each other, which is phenomenal now, which is something great to watch. If you go online, the hardcore leftists are really eating each other, and it's delicious.
Yeah, and I see people post things to I need to reevaluate. I need to take a break from social media. You're really getting this personally affected. What's wrong with you? But let's leave it with this, with the politics. Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. Keep it locked here on Sports, Politics, and More every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And we'll be discussing that as the time moves along. But it's just about time for our NFL picks. But, Jordan, let's really quick spend no more than 3 minutes to talk about how bad the New York Knicks are as they play the Nets tonight.
The scraps, yeah, they're terrible. I said this before the season started, that Derrick Rose is made of glass, and that Joakim Noah is, he's not really, he's the wrong side of 30, he's the wrong age. We essentially have 2011 All-Star team, but it's 2016, so good luck. This is a bad team. I wish we would have just be bad, embrace the suck, be really terrible, and get a better draft pick.
You know who I like, though? Number 91, Mendogas. We were joking about him a few months ago, and I was like, this guy's a beast. He averages 4 points a game in Europe. I mean, he's been pretty good. I don't know if you've seen any of him. Hernan Gomez has been okay. I'm sick of seeing Sasha Vujacic. I had enough of that. And there's no offense. But how do you feel about Kurt Rambis being the new defensive coach?
I'm giving up on the Knicks for a while. I don't think that this roster is made to win. I don't want to get really engaged the way I was a couple of years ago, just because I don't think that they're, first of all, re-signing Melo to that big deal for a long time. He's not it. And the way that the league's structured right now, they have no real chance of it's almost impossible. I would say it's impossible that the Knicks could win a championship this year. That's
no shot.
It's tough.
Yeah, their future though. If Porzingis becomes like Dirk Nowitzki, they got a chance going forward. They get these draft picks, but They're not a playoff team this year. All right, so without further ado, time for our NFL segment as we end every show. AFC, Sunday night. Did you watch any of the game? The Raiders beat the Broncos, and the Raiders were my preseason team to watch. Unfortunately, John picked the Rams, but did you see the Raiders make a statement?
I didn't see it, but I did see it in fantasy. So I got one of my guys. I'm trying to think who it was. It wasn't Cooper. It was one of the other receivers. Had a really big game for me.
Michael Crabtree?
Might have been him.
Well, he made a statement. Now, they have 7 wins, just as well as the Patriots. Don't make Tom Brady mad. Patriots are still rolling. Ravens and Steelers tied in the top of the AFC North at 4-4. And in the South, you got the Texans at top at 5-3. Now, in the NFC, you got the Cowboys at 7-1, 7 straight wins after losing to the Giants. Giants, the top wild card spot right now, 5-3. Redskins 4-3-1, the next wild card spot. Seahawks in first, 5-2-1. Vikings in first, 5-3. Right behind them, the Lions 5-4. Packers 4-4. And in the South, the Falcons are 6-3. The Saints are 4-4. But did you see any of that Monday night game, the Seahawks and Bills?
Yes, a little bit of it.
So the big controversial play here is there are 3 seconds left to end the first half. Bills driving, going for a field goal. Richard Sherman so far offside. Before the ball is even snapped, he tackles Dan Carpenter, the kicker. There's no, roughing the kicker penalty called. Instead, they call just offsides. Then they say because Dan Carpenter went down on the hit, that he was technically injured, he had to come out of the game. You're not allowed to stay in if you got injured for a play. So the Ryan brothers are flipping out. It was just great to watch. They were going nuts. Then Carpenter goes out. The Bills bring in their running back to spike the ball. Then Carpenter comes back in to kick the ball. He kicks it through. Then they were saying there was an issue with the play clock, the refs. So he had to kick it again. Then he missed it. 3 terrible referee calls within the span of 2 seconds in game time. Absolutely insane. So that's how the Seahawks won. They're not that good. They're going to get smacked. Absolutely destroyed this week when I take on the New England Patriots. But, that was just terrible refereeing. But let's recap Week 9, obviously. The Dolphins beat the Jets. How great was that game? You watch any of it?
Yeah, after the Giants essentially tied it up for us, I knew that they were going to win. I channeled down because they were playing at the same time, which is always a pain in the ass. Wow, the Jets suck. They stink. It's sort of, they used to be able to hang their hat on being a really plus defensive team. They give up almost 200 yards on the ground. Yuck, they suck.
Yeah, I'm really glad they're bad. I told you they'd be bad. So that's absolutely great that they lost again. And this week they will be taking on the Rams, your team, the Rams, John. Who's going to win that game? It's in New Jersey.
Quite the suck-off. I'm going Rams.
Wow. I mean, that would be great. I really like that. Now, the Bryce Petty era, it was fun while it lasted. The guy ends his career as a Jet so far as the all-time completion percentage leader. He's 2 for 2. Did you see that Fitzpatrick got hurt during the game? They brought in Petty.
Yeah, but they brought Fitzpatrick finished the game, though, right?
Right. So I'm saying it was a quick 2 great plays. The fans were pumped.
My thing is this: why not just stick with Petty? This year's over. You know what I mean? Why not? Fuck it.
Exactly. And then, of course, the big game of the day, the New York Giants. They did all they could to try to lose, but in the spirit of giving for Thanksgiving, the Eagles just gave it away. The Giants come out victorious, 28-23. Cruz, Shepard, Beckham, all getting involved. The defense actually played well. What are your thoughts from this game?
Oh, don't worry. The Giants tried to give it away. Right off the start, we get 2 quick interceptions. We get 2 scores off of it. We're essentially spotted 14 points. Looks like it's going to be a great game. Then we get a couple crazy things going on. The one quote-unquote interception where Odell Beckham sort of gets the ball taken from him, That's not Eli's fault. It's going to go against Eli's stats, but shit happened. What are you going to do? I have to say that I'm very happy with our defense. They're not always great. They gave up quite a bit of yardage to tight ends, but your boy Landon Collins has played phenomenal of late, and Eli's played better. I got to tell you, the rookie running back looked good. Our running game still stinks, but he showed some sparks. I think we're all right. I think we're going to be a playoff team, and we've already beaten Dallas once, and now we've beaten Philly once. I think we're in. Couldn't ask for any more than this.
Well, here's the thing: the Giants have games coming up that they should hopefully win. They got the Bengals this Monday night, which obviously is the toughest game right now. The Bengals are still a good team. Then you got the Bears and the Browns. So you got to come out of the next 3 weeks with 2 wins, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think we're coming out with 3 wins. I think the Bengals.
You got the Giants winning the rest of the season, so.
Yeah. Listen, I haven't been wrong in a while.
All right, so obviously you got the Giants beating the Bengals this week. I just don't know. I think the Bengals are a much better team than the Eagles. This is a Monday night game this week. It's in MetLife Stadium. The Giants have a terrible history on Monday Night Football. So unfortunately, in a close game, Eli Manning will throw a late pick, and the Bengals will come out victorious.
The only Bengals game I watched this year was the first game of the year versus the Jets, and they gave up 7 sacks. So, you know what? I think we can get to Red Rocket, and I think we could sack them a bunch, and I think our defense will have our way. And
what
I think
about
we'll be
your fantasy star, Tyler Eifert?
I do love me some Tyler Eifert, but in reality, it's him or AJ Green, and they're both banged up quite a bit. So as long as we can contain them, the running game stinks, and their second, third, fourth receivers are all garbage.
All right. Well, let's hope you're right. Now I'm going to run through the other games real quick. 1-word answers. The team name. Browns at Ravens tomorrow night. Oh, what a game for Thursday Night Football.
Ravens.
Chiefs at Panthers.
Panthers.
You said the Rams are going to beat the Jets. I'll agree with you. Falcons at the Eagles.
Ooh, Falcons.
Falcons as well. Texans at the Jaguars. I'll take the Texans. Blake Bortles sucks.
Terrible.
Agree? Disagree? Texans?
Oh, yeah, Texans. Absolutely.
All right. Dolphins at the Chargers.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going Chargers.
I'm going to agree, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win. They're playing well. Cowboys at the Steelers. I'm going with the upset, Steelers.
Really? I'm going Cowboys just because.
All right. We'll see. That's going to be a good game. 4:25 game. Big Ben, second week back. Broncos at the Saints. I'm going Saints.
I'm going Broncos. The Saints, they stink. Their defense is terrible. And
4-4. They're coming back. All right.
Yeah,
Packers at the Titans. Packers.
Yeah, I'm going Packers.
Vikings at the Redskins.
Ooh, Vikings.
I'm going Redskins. Bears at the Bucks. I'll say Bears.
I'm going Bucks.
49ers at the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah, 49ers suck. And then lastly, big game, Seahawks versus the Patriots in New England.
Patriots, man.
Hell yeah, Patriots. They have it our Week 10 picks. We'll be back here next week with more picks, obviously. We'll probably talk a little about NBA. Obviously, we talk about politics. And, John, what would you like to say to the American people before we wrap up?
I would just say congratulations. I'm real proud of you. I'm proud of everybody. I want to give a shout-out to Jules, the program director here at UCY Radio, to let us have a platform to spew our Trump nonsense. But thank God for that, because now we have a chance for a platform to reach more people, get more people involved, and we'll finally be able to make America great again.